What's up guys, I'm just going to do my second video for my speed server. I want to apologise to start with. What I said in the first video about building resource tiles for 5 days and then buildings inside your village for the last 2, that applies to normal speed servers. On this, a triple speed server, by the end of the week you already have 2 villages. So the same basic concept applies. Upgrade your resource tiles to a high level before building inside your village, but at the 5 days, then 2 days doesn't apply. I have 15 hours of beginner's protection left. I extended it. The reason I extend it is because if you're simming, there's no point being raided by other people, and as you can see, you get a huge amount of resources from simming, and I've developed my second pretty well too. So my priorities now that I'm close to the end of beginner's protection, I need to get scouts. It's very, very important. If a Teuton scouts you and they don't get a report back, they're less likely to try to attack you. So have a decent amount of scouts, and even if you have a small amount, at least you can see that someone's checking you out, so you might get an attack from them. But don't be undervended. Don't have no scouts, otherwise you'll be screwed. You'll always have people getting information off you. You could have 30 local Teutons scouting you and you wouldn't even know. It's always good to have scouts. I'll upgrade my cranny now, so that when I do start getting raided in 15 hours, they're not going to get resources, like I said in the first video. I'll try to finish these tiles if I can. If I can get them all to 10 and then upgrade my marketplace, with my resources being shipped out of the village, I'm never going to have more than this each hour, and my crannies will cover this amount of resources, so no one will get resources off me from raiding me anyway. It will automatically be shipped out of my village. So you'll need Gold Club for that, just to set up the trade routes so that you've got the amount of resources that you're producing going out of your village each hour. I'll upgrade my wall as well to increase the static defense from my residence, as I explained in the first. The other advantage, there's the trade routes with the Gold Club, but having the dodge on as well means you don't have to constantly be dodging your offensive troops. They'll just dodge automatically. There's a crop finder that comes as part of it, but you don't need that. You can just do what I've done up here with Google. Just go find croppers in Travian, click search. Sorry, it takes a while, I'm downloading at the moment. It'll come up with croppers at travibot.com or something. You can just type in your coordinates in your server and it will give you all of the cropper locations. My alliance has changed. My Doomhammer, the guys that I was playing with, we've gone into SO. I'll show you the map and you can see why it was a good move for myself. I'll just pause this download so that I can show you stuff. Sorry, this is classic Australian internet. You can't do 2 things at once. Lots of SO members around me, which is cool because we can all work together. I'm still going to settle out, which I have already as my second, settle out with the DH members, my friends. We're going to settle 15 crops near each other. In my second village, I've settled. I'm upgrading the resource tiles again, and I'm making culture producing buildings. The reason I'm making culture producing buildings is so that I can get my third village, which is my 15 cropper, faster, and I can get villages faster than everyone else without having to throw celebrations early on. The culture producing buildings, the best ones for culture producing, I'll show you my first. I've upgraded some of them. Best buildings for it: the main building, the marketplace, the academy, the embassy, the walls, surprisingly, and your residence. So those buildings when your village is finished, you want those at level 20. Later on, getting your stable to level 10 and your town hall and your trade office to level 10 as well, you'll be making about 800 culture points on a normal speed server from each village when it's set out that way. So it's always a good idea to do that. I've settled out a fair way just because this was the only patch of 15 croppers that my friends and I could have that hadn't been settled. The only problem at the moment with this is because this isn't my capital and my hero's my hero, this is his home village because he's set to resource production, so I want him in the new village. Doing adventures, all the adventures are hours and hours away because the adventures they appear near your capital village, and my first is still my capital, so I just have to wait for him to travel 4 hours each way to adventures. So the adventures are going to start expiring, unfortunately, but I'll be making the third my capital soon. The reason I chose this as a feeder first is it's just so much easier to have a feeder as your second and the capital cropper as your third, because having the cropper as your second, especially when it's this far out, it's just too much work to develop it. It's not worth it. You need the resource production when you're hours away from your first village. And I'll be able to settle a third way faster than if I made the cropper and then tried to settle a feeder for it. If you settled the feeder like I have, and I've put don't take as my village name, don't take that, so hopefully if someone sees that on a crop finder and they click it and have a look, they'll see my village and won't take it. If someone does take it stupidly, then just rush catapults in your feeder and take them out. If it's their second village, which it will be this early on, them trying to develop a far out 15 cropper is going to be impossible when you're raiding them, and then when you're catapulting them, you'll always win that fight. It might take a while because you have to get catapults, but it's worth it. You'll get your cropper. I haven't done my AU3 account update yet for those people that are following my channel and want to see my AU3 videos. We're just at war. Our alliance is at war with someone else, so I'm just delaying it for spy purposes. I've made a video, but I'll wait a while to delay it just so that my troop numbers aren't given away. I'll update this speed server one weekly and regularly. I'll do a slight delay on this again for troop numbers, but I should get one out every week. Before I go, I was talking about simming being good for your rank number, and we're coming towards the end of the week and I'm top 10. I'm not number 1, unfortunately, like I was in AE3, but this server has, I think, like 5,000 players, so yeah, close to 5,000, so me being rank 6 is pretty good, especially when I still have 15 hours of beginner's protection. So you can see why this is such an effective strategy for Romans, because you've just got so much production still in beginner's protection. You've already settled and developed your second and have so many resources coming in every hour. It's a great strategy. You should try it if you're going to play Roman or Gaul yourself. Anyway, I'll see you next week for the next video. Cheers.